Welcome to Math 1324. This is section 3.1. We begin to look at all kinds of financial applications, banking, investing, loan payments. So let's start. Here in question 1, we have the sales tax rate in Fort Worth, Texas is 8.25%. Find the tax that would be charged on a purchase of $26.31. All right, so our rate is 8.25%. To turn this into a decimal, I take the number, divide by 100, so 0.0825. And the tax is simply the amount multiplied by the rate. So our rate is 26.31. Multiply that by our rate. And so I get 2.170575. But we want to round this to the nearest cent. And so 2 decimal places, the thing after the 7 is a 0, so I drop that off. So the amount of tax to be charged is $2.17. In question 2, they bring us back to a question about lines. So we have a line here. It doesn't quite look like a line because if you recall, our lines typically look like y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. But if I rearrange this and write it as minus 50x minus 11,000, then I can recognize that the slope is minus 50 and the y-intercept is minus 11,000. So it would be a line going down, crossing at minus 11,000. Let's see, question 3. Question 3, they want us to take 6.1% and write it as a decimal. So all I do is divide by 100, or you can think of it as moving the decimal 2 places to the left. And so I get 0.061. Question 4. Similarly, we have 0.8%. All right, so I take 0.8, divide that by 100, or again, move the decimal 2 places left, so 1, 2, and we get 0.008. Question 5 wants us to go the other way. We have it as a decimal, and so I want to turn it into a percent. So I do that simply by multiplying by 100, or moving the decimal the other way, which is to the right 2 places, 1, 2, and so 0.27%. All right, in question 6 and the next few problems, we're going to assume that a year is 360 days. Now, that's called a banker's year. The textbook will tell us when they want us to use that. Now, that's not going to change how many quarters there are in a year. There's still 4 quarters in a year. There's still 12 months. There's still 52 weeks. It's only an assumption on the days. So how do I convert 120 days to years? Well, think of it this way. Here's my days. I want to multiply it by something where days cancel and I end up with years. So here's the relationship, and that is 1 year is 360 days. So the days would cancel, and I get 120 over 360. Zeros cancel, and then I can divide this by 3, by 12, top and bottom, and I get 1/3 of a year. All right, question 7. Again, they tell us to assume 360 days. But in this case, it doesn't matter because we have months. So 8 months. So what's the relationship between years and months? Well, 1 year is 12 months. Months cancel. I get 8 over 12. I can take a 4 into the top and the bottom, and I get 2/3 of a year. All right, question 8. Again, assume the number of days in a year, but again, doesn't matter here because we have quarters, and there's still 4 quarters in a year. So 25 quarters, 1 year has 4 quarters. So you see the units of quarters cancel, giving me years, and that's 25 over 4 years. They didn't ask for a decimal, they just said simplify it, and that's as simple as the fraction would go. In question 9, convert the time period again, and we assume 52 weeks in a year, which is true. So let's see, 40 weeks, I put the relationship here, 1 year is 52 weeks, the weeks cancel. So you can always remember what goes on the top or the bottom because the units should cancel and give you what you want. So this is 40 over 52. I can take 4 into top and bottom, and I get 10 over 13 of a year. So not a whole year. All right, question 10. We are given the principal, or the money we have now, is $600. Rate is 9%. Want to keep it for 6 years. How much interest will we earn? Well, the interest in terms of simple interest, there's no compounding going on. Simple interest, I get principal times rate times time. So let's see, and the time must be in years. Keep that in mind. Always the time is in years. So let's see, 600.09, because we had 9%, 6 years, multiply it up, and we get $324. Okay, let's see, and in question 11 here, we want to use the formula to find the amount of money we're going to have using simple interest. A is amount at a future time. Principal is what we have now. Rate is our rate as a decimal, and T is time in years. Let's see, P is 3,500. R is 8%, so 0.08. We're doing this for 2 quarters, but my time needs to be in years. So I need to convert. 1 year has 4 quarters. The quarters cancel. I get 2 over 4, but 2 over 4 is 1/2, or 0.5. So half of a year, or essentially 6 months. Well, with that, we are off and ready to go. Principal, 1 plus rate times the length of time. All right, so when I do 0.08 times 0.5, I get 0.04, add 1, so 1.04. And that's multiplied by 3,500. And so I get $3,640. So this is just our first look at banking. We still have section 3.2, 3.3, and 3.4. All financial applications for business.